Today we're taking a closer look at elemental mercury, what it is, where it's found, and why it's a serious health concern you should be aware of. Elemental mercury is a silvery, liquid metal used in thermometers, barometers, and pressure-sensing devices. You'll also find it in batteries, lamps, industrial processes, refining operations, some lubrication oils, and even in dental amalgam fillings. But mercury isn't just one substance, it exists in three distinct forms: elemental mercury, inorganic mercury compounds, like mercuric chloride, and organic mercury compounds, with methyl mercury being the most well-known. Each form has its own toxic effects, and all are harmful to human health. Let's start with elemental mercury. Short-term exposure to high levels can affect the central nervous system. You might experience tremors, mood changes, or slower reflexes and nerve function. Long-term exposure ramps up those effects and can lead to a condition called erethism, which includes symptoms like irritability, excessive shyness, and tremors. While human studies haven't conclusively linked elemental mercury to cancer, the neurological impacts are well documented. Now let's move on to inorganic mercury, such as mercuric chloride. Acute exposure, like swallowing a large amount, can cause nausea, vomiting, and severe abdominal pain. Over time, chronic exposure primarily damages the kidneys. Animal studies have also shown that exposure to compounds like mercuric chloride can cause tumors in the forestomach, thyroid, and kidneys, and may impact reproductive organs and development. Then there's methyl mercury, the most dangerous form in terms of common human exposure. High levels of methyl mercury can have serious effects on the central nervous system, including blindness, deafness, and even loss of consciousness. Chronic exposure brings symptoms like tingling skin, blurred vision, fatigue, trouble speaking, and narrowed vision. But the most alarming effects of methyl mercury are seen in developing infants. If a pregnant woman consumes high levels of methyl mercury, her child may be born with developmental disabilities, cerebral palsy, blindness, and other severe neurological conditions. So where does this exposure come from? For elemental mercury, the biggest risk is inhalation in the workplace, especially in industrial environments. Another source of low-level exposure for many people is dental amalgam fillings, which can slowly release mercury vapor in the mouth. As for methyl mercury, it mainly enters our bodies through the food we eat, especially fish and seafood. That's why pregnant women and young children are often advised to limit their intake of certain fish. In the past, people were also exposed to methyl mercury through grains treated with mercury-based fungicides, but those are now banned in the United States, making this route of exposure almost non-existent today. In summary, mercury is toxic in all its forms, and depending on how you're exposed, it can cause damage to your nervous system, kidneys, vision, and development, especially in unborn children.